following program on Other Derana 24 is classified for general audience. It is intended for all ages. It contains little or no violence, no strong language, and little or no sexual dialogue or situations.
Hello and welcome to Business Best, a program that we have curated to have conversations with business leaders in the Sri Lankan business market and sort of understand their success stories and how they have become and what the journey is like to become a successful business and entrepreneurship. Now today we are in conversation with the sales manager at E.B. Creasy Co. PLC, Mr. Eksath Alwis. Welcome to the show, Eksath.
Thank you, Sanavi.
Now, let's start off with the company that you work for, E.B. Creasy Co. PLC.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like, though not many would be familiar with the name E.B. Creasy Co. PLC, this has been a company that has been in the Sri Lankan business market for quite some time. So let's start there. What is E.B. Creasy Co. PLC?
Yes, you are very correct there, Sanavi. So, the company was founded in the year 1878, and at the very initial stage, it was a company that traded coffee in the country, and it has now grown into quite a large conglomerate, which has acquired many subsidiaries among quite a few industries, of which I am specifically part of the solar renewable energy sector, or the division of the company, which has quite a lot of future, globally. So, E.B. Creasy Company PLC is very well known among a more experienced or a more experienced business sector in Sri Lanka. So therefore, I would imagine that the youngsters are not that familiar with the name, but now of course we are being quite loud about what we do. So it has been out in the market for quite a long time, and it is a really famous household brand name in terms of all the products we cater to the market. So yeah, E.B. Creasy has been there for quite a long time, emphasizing on a very strong credibility of whatever we do, showcasing high quality and very severe customer service.
So, like I mentioned, it has been in the market for quite some time, and you might not be knowing, but you just might be using E.B. Creasy Co. PLC products at your own household, just that you might not really know that it's from E.B. Creasy Co. And we're going to change that today. Now, since you're specializing onto the solar segment of the company. Now, solar, of course, solar energy, all these devices are quite well known in Sri Lanka because there was sort of like a wave where people wanted to sort of go for renewable energy, ensure that the power supply they wanted for their houses were also generated by themselves. Now, this is quite a popular concept. How does E.B. Creasy Co. PLC differentiate from other competitors in your industry?
Yeah, that's quite a valid question because in today's time period, there is a strong competition for solar or any renewable energy in the market. When you talk about solar energy, it's a very unique, it's a very specific subject which emphasizes on safety, longevity, efficiency, in terms of products, in terms of the services we are rendering. So what we see today is where the market is quite focused on cost, on a quick process, which sometimes might compromise on whatever you're getting at the end in terms of products and in terms of the services. So E.B. Creasy Company PLC is surely there to promote a safer, a more efficient and unmatchable after sales in terms of the services we render, because solar is not cheap. Right? Planting a solar plant in your house, in your factories, in your offices is not cheap. The consumer will have to make quite a significant investment. And given that investment, your returns have to be quite promising. But in today's market, unfortunately, compromising in costs, compromising in workmanship has led to many struggles in the market where people are finding it hard to get their services as promised. People are finding it hard to get their solar yield, the production as promised, due to cutting corners during the project. So we, in that sense, have proved that over the history of our solar operation, that we have proved that our longevities and our services and the production that we promise to the customer is received, especially in terms of after sales. Because like I said, you're investing a lot of money expecting a 30-40 year project on your roof, and you're talking about high voltage components which are quite prone to damage or danger. So as a PLC company, that is where I think our strength stands, because we give what we promise. And I would like to touch a little bit on the brands that we use, which are globally accredited, and we directly import from the manufacturer itself. There are several standards, licenses that we have to acquire, most essentially. And we are happy to announce that we have been working with suppliers for quite a long time who have been giving us what they promise. So hand in hand, we have been able to make quite a presence in the market in terms of giving what we promise. So in that sense, I would say that E.B. Creasy and Company PLC stands out in the market, and it's like we discussed earlier, it's quite an old group of companies where people have lodged their trust on us. And as a large conglomerate, we are not in a position to let the market down or let our consumers down. So therefore, we would always strive to improve on our after sales, improve on the safety standards, improve on how we give what we promise.
I think a key point to note on what you just mentioned, Eksath, is the fact that not only does the company focus on delivering a quality product, a sustainable product, but also ensures that the after-sales portion of it is well taken care of, because end of the day, all of this is installed in your customers' homes. Yes. And then that brings in, like you mentioned, the danger factor. It's a massive investment. And sometimes a lot of businesses often tend to neglect this after-sales portion of it, because end of the day, they've catered it, their sale is met. After sales might not really be in their books, but then for products such as yours, it's quite mandatory to have that after sales, and of course to retain the customer confidence. Yes. It's a key part of it. Now, you mentioned that the group that you work for is a well-diverse group. Yes. They've been in the business industry for quite some time, about 146 odd years, if I'm not mistaken. Let's talk a little bit about the diversification, for the point of the fact that this company is not new to the game. They've gained a lot of experience, not just from the solar industry, but from a diverse array of industries that have claims and backed up this business. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yes. So as a group, we have, as I said earlier, stretched out into many industries. If I were to name a few, especially in the home care segment, as an FMCG product brand, if you are familiar with the name Darley Butler, which is a subsidiary of E.B. Creasy and Company PLC. So many household products that you may use, I may use at home are from us. So they are manufactured by E.B. Creasy. And we have also stretched our arms into plantations, tea, automobile, logistics, etc. So it's quite a large span of industries which we are proud of. And in terms of solar also, we have been in the game for quite a long time. To be very accurate, since the year 2000. Our solar operations started in the year 2000. And on, we have been having quite a consistent and quite a growth, actually. So, yeah, even the solar division has been performing well throughout the years. We have been innovating ourselves, gaining more experience, and satisfying several customers.
So E.B. Creasy and Co. PLC has been backed up with a rich history of business acumen. Now, if you had to come back into the solar segment of E.B. Creasy and Co. PLC, what sort of products or services do you offer?
Yeah, so mainly in terms of renewable energy, we have our solar rooftop systems, which is our core business. In terms of proportions, I would say the domestic market is doing quite well these days. People are somewhat frustrated with high tariff rates which they have to pay. So solar net metering rooftop plants have come in really handy in terms of good returns for the consumer. So solar rooftop systems is our core business. And we also have actually a solar powered water pump, which is a German pump whom we are the exclusive partner in Sri Lanka for, Lawrence Solar Water Pumps, which has been a very big support for the agricultural sector in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka being a country in the equator, we have been blessed by sunlight. So when you look at agriculture, which is one of our main parts of income, the solar water pump helps the farmers or landowners or cultivators to pump water, which is a very essential need for them, free of charge, absolutely free of charge, purely from the power of the sun. So the solar water pump segment is also a very strong portfolio that we offer in the market, apart from solar rooftop. So we have been in the domestic market as well as the industrial market. We have tied up with several large-scale projects who are enjoying very strong returns today.
I think there's a bit more to discuss about the business's journey and, of course, the challenges the business would have faced in the recent past. And then there's much, of course, to discuss with you, Eksath. But before that, let's all go for a short commercial break. This is Business Best. Welcome back to Business Best. We are currently in conversation with Mr. Eksath Alwis, the Sales Manager at E.B. Creasy & Co. PLC. Now, before the break, we were discussing about the products that are offered by E.B. Creasy & Co. PLC and, of course, the rich history behind this said business. Now, let's move on to a bit of the business model. Now, you mentioned that the products that are sold by your company are being imported, and these are from well-reputed companies abroad. Let's talk about a bit about that. How does the relationship between those companies and you guys work?
Yes. So as a policy of E.B. Creasy, we are very, very strict on the manufacturers or the suppliers of our products, with the suppliers of our products. And we are happy to say that whoever has been supplying our products have been in relationship with us for quite a long time. And that again adds to the credibility of our products and of our services, because actually we are also happy with what they supply to us and the services that they give us, so that in return we are able to transfer that service to our consumers. So yeah, we have been partnering with quite a strong global presence, and our suppliers are all accredited globally and have performed to their utmost best in global terms. And yeah, we have been partnering with them for quite a long time, and they have been giving us quite a good service, and they have been constantly innovating themselves within the market in terms of pricing, in terms of technology. So our partnerships are key to us. And we really value it, and we respect it, and we make sure that our consumers know that these partnerships are long-standing and not just short-term. Because like I said, a solar plant is expected to perform more than 25-30 years. So our consumers have to have that trust that a company who has planted a plant on the roof, is not going to change their component, is not going to change their brand, every quarter or whatever. So that's quite a strong point in the market.
Having good relationship with the suppliers of business as such, which requires long-term investments, and the sustainability of your product is of crucial value in this industry. Now, having your supplier relationship good, maintaining that constant discussion with their quality improvements, their pricing models, that finally trickles down into your business and then towards the end user. Another element of all of this, another stakeholder that a company must definitely take care of, is their workforce. Now, especially onto your industry, onto the industry of solar. Like you mentioned, it has a lot of danger in it. There's a lot of customer credibility that is required. It also requires experts who are able to give that confidence to your end user to be like, this product will not fail. It will actually yield the benefit that you require for a long-term investment. And I'm pretty sure the company is equipped with a bunch of experts for that.
Yes, absolutely. The solar market is I would say 70 to 80% to do with qualified electrical engineers, and our team is blessed with quite a significant number of qualified electrical engineers who overlook each and every project, no matter the scale of it, which is a very, very important part, because in the market we see rather startup companies who purchase locally and who operate without such expertise, which is quite dangerous, I would say. Once again, you are dealing with a lot of money, you are dealing with dangerous equipment on your roof. So you would really want such expertise operating with you. And in terms of installers, the real labor force who actually install this plant on your roof, E.B. Creasy has quite a comprehensive team of installers who are actually employees of us. They are direct employees of the group. So whenever this team enters a premise to start the installation, the consumer automatically builds up that trust, since the people who come to work are not a third party, but direct employees of the company who are well taken care of as well. And this team has, as a company policy, they comply to very strict standards in installation, strict safety guidelines, which is very, very important in the market. And I would also like to mention there are certain installers working with us who are third parties, but the evaluation of them is very strict on our hand, and there are quite strict safety, security and engineering standards which they have to follow, and they have to be authorized under E.B. Creasy and Company PLC for installations. So we do not work with just random teams. Like I said earlier, with our partnership of our suppliers, we have strong partnerships with our installers as well, which is a very, very big it's a big issue actually we see in the market, where companies are not adhering to such standards, which causes damage in installations and absolutely long-term problems with the return for the consumer. So that's a very important part which we are happy to say that we have been adhering to, and we have been strict in monitoring throughout the operation.
Now, with all these standards in place, with your business acumen that over the years the company as a group has of course accumulated, what sort of a future do you see from the perspective of a sales and marketing professional?
Yes, so solar is a very innovative subject today, and it's evolving on a daily basis in terms of technology, in terms of the innovation of the product itself, in terms of installing this product. So as a marketing and sales professional, I would say that our company has to be in the forefront of acquiring such innovations first in the market. I would believe that we will have to be the first to introduce such innovations in the market, right? And at the moment we are actually doing so. So, like I said, our partnership with these suppliers is very key in that sense, because the suppliers are always innovating themselves and they pass it on to us. So as a group, as an old experienced group of companies, E.B. Creasy Solar is always longing for innovation, and we would always like to acquire these new developments and introduce it to the Sri Lankan market firsthand. Yeah.
And with that future in mind, my final question would be, like, say for example, a customer who's keen on installing a solar plant into their homes. How should they reach out to you? Number one.
Yeah.
Number two is, let's say there is a solar expert who would like to join your workforce. How do they go about doing that? Two-part question.
Yes. So to answer the first question, actually we have been advertising us in a rather strong way for the past 2 years. So you can get in touch with us through our website. You can get in touch with us through our Facebook page, our LinkedIn page. And also I would like to hand out my own mobile phone number, which is 077 440 7040. 077 440 7040. If you'd like to contact me, and I would definitely direct you to one of my team members who will help you out for your requirement. And to answer the second question, yes, we are always open for people to join our team, because we, as you all may know, the team is growing. We have been growing in the market as well as our team. So we would like to have a chat with you and see what you have to offer to us, so that we can work together and make this thing run faster.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining in on the conversation, Eksath, and of course to sharing your expertise on your field, and of course to sort of giving us more information about how the solar field works and bringing forth a company that a lot of people need to give more attention to, who has been a household name, but not particularly in their group name, but of course affiliated with their brand. So once again, thank you so much, Eksath.
Thank you, Sanovi, for having me. It was my pleasure.
So we were in conversation with Mr. Eksath Alwis, the sales manager at E.B. Creasy Co. PLC. Now, of course, towards the end of the discussion, we discussed on to how you could reach out to them for maybe your solar installation, or maybe you just want to join their growing workforce. So either way, you got the details, you can go by it. But in case you missed it, you can, of course, check out this episode and the previous episodes through our YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/Derana English. Now, we'll see you again next time with yet another success and inspirational story. See you next time. This is Business Best.